The election results are in as of this Hellfire Gala, and with a new roster for the X-Men just announced, it's left many wondering about those who didn't make the cut, but, still deserve a spot. I'm your host Amanda McKnight. Join me as we talk 2022 X-Men and count down the top 10 mutants who should have been on this newest team. Number 10. Wiz-Kid. Speaking of the newest team, the current lineup for the X-Men just revealed in X Men Hellfire Gala sees Jean Grey, Cyclops, and Synch returning with Forge, Havoc, Maggot, Firestar, and Iceman joining them. But someone I would have loved to see on the team would definitely be Wiz-Kid. Wiz-Kid is a mutant who is often underrated when it comes to his powers. Currently, he is part of Sword. At least, he was last when I checked. I feel like I haven't seen Sword in a few issues, but yeah. Wiz-Kid also made an appearance in Cable Reloaded, where he joined Cable's revived team of Exterminators. The Exterminators will be returning as they're going to have their own series, which means Wiz-Kid may actually have his hands full if he's part of that team and on Sword, as he was like back in the day, but I hope at some point in the near future he gets some free time, because I actually feel like he'd be a great addition to the X-Men, and is a character deserving of the spotlight he'd rightly receive while on that team. Maybe when current tech whiz and mutant genius inventor Forge is no longer on the team, it will be a good time for Wiz-Kid to step in. Although that being said, I am very glad that Forge has recently rejoined the team because I love Forge, and honestly, it was about time. Forge deserves to be in the spotlight. But we'll see if it sticks, as Forge does seem pretty unhappy with some of his teammates currently. I'm looking at you, Scott. Number 9. Maggot. I feel like we've barely seen Maggot at all during the Krakoa times, and I think that is something that needs to be fixed. Maggot did show up in Children of the Atom and was part of a team of mutants that were basically sent out to encourage the Children of the Atom team to reach out to Krakoa and join their mutant brethren. Now in reality, only one member of that group of major mutant fans turned heroes was actually a mutant, but I still really enjoyed the featured appearance of Maggot there, who the teens also seemed to know by name and were actually excited to meet, which is super cute. Just the idea of Maggot being a major hero and inspiration to young aspiring heroes the world over is excellent, and his appearance in the Children of the Atom series made me crave having him join the X-Men roster once more. And friends, before we move on to this next spot, if you are loving this list, be sure to let us know by giving this video a thumbs up. And let us know down in the comments any mutants that you would love to see on the X-Men team. So many good ones. Number 8. Dr. Cecilia Reyes. Well, you might just think of Dr. Reyes as the mutant medical professional on Krakoa. She's actually much more than that. Medical science might be her calling, but Dr. Reyes is also still a mutant. Her mutant power is force field generation, and although she doesn't always display the best control over these powers, I think she'd still make a valuable member to the X-Men team. She also is a decent fighter. I mean, she's not amazing, but she's decent. And one thing that Reyes has that most other mutants don't actually have is a passion, a job, something outside of her mutant identity that shapes who she is, which would likely make her an interesting character to explore in regards to what it can mean to be a hero with or without the use of powers. Number 7. Cypher. Cypher has gotten so much more hyped over the last few years in the comics, and I am super here for it. I feel like Doug has had a major mutant glow up during his time on Krakoa. Well, I know Cypher is busy also being the translator for Krakoa so that the council might hear its concerns and address them, and so that they might work together with the sentient mutant island. So Cypher is undoubtedly quite busy and in demand already. I would really love to imagine a time when Cypher is free enough to join his fellow mutant heroes on the X-Men team. Cypher's powers make him a master of communication, allowing him to understand all forms of language, including all languages of Earth, alien languages, verbal, written, body language, fighting even as a language, and technology, and so much more than that. So yeah, let's get Cypher back on the X-Men. Cypher's so cool right now. I love him. Number 6. Manifold. Manifold has recently quit his position working with Sword, which would free him up to join the X-Men team, and although he's been on lots of teams, I don't think Manifold has ever, to my knowledge, been a member of the core X-Men team, which I think is a major shame considering how powerful of a teleporter he is and how unique his powers truly are. In a similar but distinctly different manner to Cypher's abilities, Eden Fezzie's true powers lie in the area of communication. That is, he actually teleports by communicating with the universe and asking it to fold for him, allowing him to get the universe to alter itself for him in any way that he wishes, thereby granting him great teleportation abilities as a result. So he's not really like a teleporter, he's really like a mutant once again kind of communicator, but he can use that to teleport. Super interesting and super cool. Super underrated. Number 5. Gentle. Gentle is a mutant nominee I have voted for in the past, and I was really hoping that this year was going to be the year that we get to see him rejoin the team. Sadly, not yet. Gentle, for those who don't know, is an amazing mutant who hails from Wakanda. Initially, the story was that Gentle was actually kind of rejected by Wakandan society due to his mixed Russian and Wakandan heritage. But recently in Black Panther, that backstory has kind of been retconned somewhat. See, Gentle still has the same background in terms of like his heritage, but his story surrounding feeling like an outcast was not entirely true, as he's actually been in the employ and sort of like the back pocket of Wakanda, working for King T'Challa as one of his secret spies for many years. Gentle is Nesno Abidemi. His powers allow him to expand and increase his muscle mass, but unfortunately his powers left unchecked and uncontrolled are extremely dangerous and could kill him, which is why Gentle is covered with vibranium tattoos, which help him control his abilities and also the symptoms connected with using them. Although later on we'd actually learn that the pain that's tied to Gentle using his powers was actually psychological and not directly physically tied to the powers at all, which has to do with a lot of his family trauma, which now is like I said, I don't know, it's they kind of were like, we're gonna dial that down a bit, because Gentle actually loves Wakanda, and I was like, okay, fair enough. But also, maybe not, I don't know. Still processing this retcon. Number 4. Madelyne Pryor. Madelyne Pryor might seem like a strange pick for an X-Men team, and fair enough, but Maddie is one of my favorite mutants of all time, and honestly I feel like she deserves a spot on the X-Men team. Okay. So maybe she doesn't deserve, maybe deserve is not the best word, but she would definitely be a super powerful addition, and it might help her to heal from a lot of the trauma she still carries, which is honestly what has probably shaped her into being a villain. What I'm saying is, I think it's about time that Jean Grey's clone, Madelyne Pryor, the Goblin Queen, got a redemption arc, and this could be a good path to do that. Also, I gotta say, I'm really enjoying Cassandra Nova on the Marauders team. I wasn't thinking I was gonna like that, but I'm enjoying it a lot more than I thought I would. So now I'm just intrigued to see some more villainous mutants find homes on superhero team rosters. Also, after Hellions, how could I not be rooting for Maddie? And villains in general. Hellions in general is just an amazing comic that will make you want villains on all of these superhero teams. And think of the drama now that we have Jean, Cyclops, and Havoc on this team. Yeah, add Maddie in there, it's like, woo, drama city. Number 3. Karma. What has Karma been up to lately on Krakoa? Well, she's rejoined her fellow mutant friends on the New Mutants team. There were even 2 New Mutant teams that we got to follow in that series, with the new New Mutants operating on Krakoa and the old New Mutants busy with space adventures. Karma is one of the older mutants in the comics. While not around as long as the classic OG Jack Kirby and Stan Lee team, Karma has been around since 1980, which is still quite a while. She also has a power that I think is quite OP and horrifyingly interesting, and we've watched her grow into her power over the years. While usually portrayed as being quite a compassionate person, Karma's mutant power allows her to take control over others psychically, allowing her to override her opponent's control over their own body and mind. This makes her not only a powerful character to use, but also an interesting one in terms of the moral dilemma that comes with such an ability, especially with her being a hero. Number 2. Hope Summers. Hope has been on an X-Men team before, and it was epic. When it comes to characters that would be fun to have on the team just because they're super OP, Hope is definitely one of those, which is why I'm here for her being on the newest iteration of the team. Of course, I knew it wasn't going to happen this year, but I still really want it to happen at some point in the near future. Hope is too busy, of course, being the leader of the 5 on Krakoa who are in charge of resurrections, and of course with recently being elected as a member on the Quiet Council of the Mutant Nation. If you aren't familiar with her, Hope is the adopted daughter of Cable and was the first mutant baby following M-Day to be born, known as the Mutant Messiah, as a little tyke. Hope's powers allow her to adopt powers of those around her. Now, unlike Rogue, she doesn't actually have to physically touch mutants to take their power, and she doesn't drain their life force energy, so that's a plus. She also gains full control over any powers that she adopts without needing to learn how to master them first. She's just an auto master by default. Number 1. Emma Frost. I was actually really hoping that we would see Emma return to the X-Men team this year. Emma has done a lot for the mutant nation of Krakoa since the nation got off its feet. She's not only been busy working on the Quiet Council to help govern the nation, which has been a trying time considering, you know, how many secrets Eric and Charles kept from her, but she also has been a driving force behind getting the Hellfire Trading Company up and on its feet as well, acting as their White Queen. With the Stepford Cuckoos taking her place, it would free up some time for Emma. However, apparently the rules are if you are on the Quiet Council, you also can't be on the X-Men. At least that's what Emma seemed to imply during this year's Hellfire Gala, which I guess would have also written off Hope Summers too, so dang. Can't have either of these people. I also, I feel like there's a lot of people on the Quiet Council that I just would love to have on the X-Men team. But I guess none of them can be, because you're on the Quiet Council, can't be on the X-Men. Makes sense, it's not supposed to be a political team, so kinda makes sense. Who do you think would make a great addition to the newest X-Men team? Are there any new members that you were surprised by? What do you think of the newest roster as announced during the Hellfire Gala this year? Let us know in the comments below. This has been Top 10 Nerd, and I'm your host Amanda McKnight. I'll see you in the next video, but until then, you stay nerdy, YouTube.